To Take Back with Zac, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting worlds, including deep dives into the greatest teams to ever exist. The Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels, who are up 1-0 right now in the top of the fourth inning. Jose Soriano pitching a great game per usual. We cover all of those teams as well as all of the news from around the world of sports. This show is available everywhere that you get your podcasts. Wink, wink. And the video is available on YouTube. If you want to see my face, for whatever reason, you're like, hey, I've been hearing this guy talk. I need to see his face now. Here I am on YouTube.com. This is the first hour of a 4-hour live show that we do on Twitch and YouTube. So if you like this, you're going to love the full show. Tune in Monday to Wednesday and Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. And then I'm doing NBA post-game shows every night of the NBA postseason game. So if you find yourself watching basketball, just know that TBWZ is going to be live shortly after that. On today's show, we're going to be covering the NBA playoff games, the Victor Wembanyama injury. We're going to be talking about the ABS system review, as it's been 30 days since ABS has dropped, and I am a big fan, and much, much more. But before we do that, we begin this show the same way every single day, every single time, without fail, as you know, because you guys absolutely are big weenies. I almost said big hole. Big ol' weenies. Veenie's weenies. Love you guys. This show starts with the verse of the day. Today's verse of the day comes from Romans chapter 1, focusing on verses 19 through 21. They know the truth about God because he made it obvious to them. For ever since the world was made, ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities. His eternal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. See the earth and the sky, brother? Hey, yesterday we had one of the most beautiful skies of all time. They were talking about it on the Angels broadcast, how beautiful the cotton candy sky was, hovering over Anaheim and Southern California in general. Brother, if you could see the beauty, dog, you know exactly what you are looking at. In addition to the verse of the day, we also do the movie of the day. Today's movie of the day is a classic. I love it. It's called The Lion King. And it is The Lion King, by the way. It's not just Lion King. I'm not going full boomer and adding a the. Little hit up the middle doesn't matter, though, for the Angels double play. Jose Soriano, 2 outs, top of the fourth. Jose Soriano has 61 pitches so far through 3 2/3. Experience the power and the majesty that is the Lion King. With its unforgettable story, Academy Award-winning music, breathtaking animation, and beloved characters, you'll be inspired by the tale of Simba, the feisty lion cub who just can't wait to be king. And I just can't wait to be king. Amen. Bro said amen. Holy crap, my bad. And his journey to claim his place in the circle of life. Now in this dazzling two-disc special edition, there is more to see than has ever been seen. With an all-new song, never before seen. Animation, plus specially created bonus features and that transport you into the world of the Lion King. Shout out to the Lion King. Let's watch it all together. One for all. One of the greatest cold opens in movie history is The Lion King. If we want to talk cold opens, so fellas who don't know what a cold open is, a cold open is basically before the title hits. There's usually like a scene in the movie, and then it's like, it sets it all up. It opens the movie, and then boom, title, and we're like, all right, here we go. What a good cold open does is typically establish the antagonist. You either establish the antagonist, you establish the ordinary world, or you give us some sort of hook, as Varsho gets a 2-out hit, that brings us into the world that you are creating as the director. A great example of this, Inglourious Bastards, filmed by Quentin Tarantino. The cold open is a 14-minute scene in which our antagonist, our villain, if you will, shows his true colors. It sets up the world. It sets up the cinematography style. It sets up a true villain that we hate with vitriol. It just brings us into the world of World War II in such a beautiful way. Inglourious Bastards, great cold open. Lion King is another one, in case you were wondering. We can talk about Lion King, we can talk about movies all day, but this show loves ball. And brother, did we get some great basketball last night and the night before. Every single series in round one is tied up 1-1, except for Lakers and Rockets. Lakers, of course, are up 2-0. The other ones are the Thunder and Suns and the Pistons and Magic, but those two teams do play tonight. There is a chance that one of the 8 matchups is a 2-0 lead. That's crazy. This is best reader of all time. Thank you. This is something that I have a headache, a really bad headache right now, by the way, also. So if you're like, hey, why does Veenie suck today? That's why. Give me love. Kazuma Okamoto is up to bat right now. There was great basketball being played last night. But of course, I want to start with Portland and San Antonio as Portland took down the number 2 seeded Spurs 106-103. Same low key. Great minds, brother. Connected at the hip. Me and Oreo are brothers from another. Also, we have no Tony Casillas today, so we're going to be rolling straight to the 2 p.m. hour, and then we're going to be talking ball and taking calls on TikTokLive.com with all of us. Portland steals game 2 in San Antonio. Angels get out of the inning. As this series is knotted up at 1 apiece heading back to Oregon. But the big loss here for San Antonio is not the game itself. It's that Big Vic, the Frenchman himself, the slender croissant, goes down hard, brother. Bruh. Landed on his face so hard, I thought his face was going to stay there. I thought they were going to have to peel him off the floor. His face hit the floor so hard. And it wasn't even just on the one time. It was a hit on right on the jaw, right on the chin, boom, bounces off and then hits on the cheek. Dog, it looked like a redwood tree going down in the middle of a forest, bro. You know what they say? Yeah, sorry for your loss, Oreo. Nico, I'm just so glad you're here, dog. Welcome to the show. You know how they say the bigger you are, the harder you fall? I didn't understand that until I saw Victor Wembanyama go down last night because, yes, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. It was a very weird play. Victor basically had the ball inside of the paint. He Euro-stepped and then was going to spin backwards from his right to his left, I guess, into the defender, which was Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday was like, I'm good on all this. I'm good on all this. And so Drew just like backed away from the play. Victor Wembanyama had his back to Drew Holiday when this happened. And so he spun into what he thought was going to be a human, but there was nobody there. It was almost like the chair got pulled out from underneath Victor Wembanyama, as when he spun, no one was standing there to catch any of his impact. He fell just straight on his face. Me personally, I'm not saying I'm a better athlete than Victor Wembanyama. I'm not saying that at all. But if I were him, I would have used my arms to brace myself instead of my face. That's my only note for Victor Wembanyama. Maybe use your arms to brace yourself. His arms are so dang skinny, though. My arm, he is a foot and a half taller than me, and my arms are so much more jacked than him because I'm a man and he's French. I thought the only good thing that could happen from this entire thing is Victor Wembanyama hit his head so hard that the French left his body. That he's no longer French anymore. It'd be so sick if he like came out of like unconsciousness and was just like, oh, get me a Budweiser. It'd be funny too if he became Mexican. Goodbye, Nolan Shotwell, solo shot. Angels are up 2-0. Let's go Halos. If I was Victor Wembanyama, I would have used my arms to brace the fall, but his arms probably would have snapped in half because he's so French. I've never seen dude, he's so skinny. Bro, he is so skinny. I said it all season. I know that the Spurs have the talent to win a title. I just worried about Victor Wembanyama's, what's it called? My head hurts. Pablo Wembanyama. I worried about his durability. He's so French, guys. I cannot stop saying that. He's French. I don't know if you've met a French person before, okay? Not the toughest group out there. If I had to select 4 men to go to battle with me, and 4 of them were imps, and 1 was French, I'd probably choose the 4 imps over the Frenchmen, because Because I know at least they would fight hard. And they have a good low center of gravity, which I think is important in a fight. And I'm saying imps because I'm watching Game of Thrones. I'm in season 3. I'm so excited for the wildlings to climb the wall. That's a completely different story. Let's stick to sports, said Veenie. Victor Wembanyama has now officially entered concussion protocol, which I did some research for us so we know exactly what concussion protocol looks like in the NBA, because we do know slight bit of what it looks like in the NFL, but what does it look like in the NBA? It's essentially for the next 48 hours from the time of the injury, which was last night around 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Closer to like 6 p.m. Pacific time. 48 hours, no participation in any sort of basketball activity. Whether it's on the court or off the court, there is no participation for Victor Wembanyama for the next 48 hours. Game 3 would not fall underneath that because Game 3 is on Friday. He has to have no concussion symptoms before he can get cleared to play. That's the very, very, very tough one for me. I had a concussion my junior year playing football that knocked me out for the entire season. I hit my head so hard I had a stutter. Sometimes I feel like I still have residual effect of the concussion to this day. It's why I am the way that I am. Oh, dude, if I never hit my head that hard, I would have never been this silly, goofy guy in doing sports radio. I would have played quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be symptoms 100%. The opposite. He's going to be 100% symptoms. I have a unique credibility with the concussion world because I've hit my head so many times. I have CTE. Congratulations. One day it's like Veenie has gone on a rampage. I don't even want to talk about that. Breaking news. Zeke Veenie has rolled his car. Zeke Veenie has gone full Tiger. Hoppy advances on the pass ball. The concussion symptoms they vary. Obviously, the first one and foremost is headache, right? There's some residual effects that could happen depending on where you hit your head and where the bruising occurs on the brain, because concussion is basically a bruise on the brain. So because I got hit from here by the defender, my head actually hit the ground the hardest. And so I suffered speech pattern issues because that's in the this hemisphere of your brain, the western hemisphere of the frontal lobe of your brain. This is where the speech is. What up, Adam? This is where all the speech is. So that's why when I hit my head here, I wasn't able to talk. I had to stutter like that. It was horrible. It was so bad. My teachers didn't believe me. Also, I had straight A's. I had a 3.9 GPA before that semester. My teachers didn't believe me. Everyone thought I was faking it. They still made me take the tests, even though I couldn't read. It hurt my head so bad and I couldn't speak at all. Still made me take all the tests. I ended up getting like a 2.9 that semester. My GPA dropped all the way to a 3.4, and all the schools that I were looking for were out the window. It changed my life drastically. Western hemisphere of your brain. We're getting big brain knowledge on this show right now with TBWZ. Oh my gosh, maybe the stutter never went away. Some concussion symptoms include sensitivity to light, headaches, obviously, irritability, mood swings. There are more mental health issues than physical issues with a concussion. Some unbeknownst to the man even dealing with it, right? If Victor Wembanyama is feeling a slight headache, if he is feeling sensitivity to light or to loud noises, these are all things that can heighten the concussion. So those are the symptoms. Yes, my brain is smooth. Those are the symptoms that they're talking about. So before he can return to any basketball activity at all, he needs to be symptom free, which those are so fickle of symptoms. It's not like, oh, I can see the bruise. Once the bruise goes away, I'm good to play. It's like, no, hey, how's your appetite? There's so many things that can be affected by the concussion. So until he is symptom free, he will not be able to return. Once he is symptom free, he then has to pass all of his benchmark testing. What does that mean? At the beginning of the year, the concussion tests that you take, if you ever played high school football, you've taken these as well, brother. And if you have played high school football, shout out to you. If you're not yet in high school and you're debating it, just play football. It's awesome. It's the best thing you could possibly do. Because when you're 45 years old and your kids are like, Dad, you're lame. And you're like, really? Because I played football. They're going to be like, oh, Dad's sick. That's all that matters. Chicks love it too, kind of. If you're good. If you're bad, it's still fun. Yes, sir. It's so fun. Go Nico. Play high school football. But before you start the season, they make you take a test where they basically show you a bunch of like random shapes and some numbers and a couple of math things and some word questions. I don't even know. I haven't taken a test in so long. It's basically an intelligence test, like a very slight IQ test. Like, hey, here's 4 images. What's the difference? Hey, do you remember those 3 pictures that we showed you at the beginning of the test? Remember them. And you basically take this SMART test. My head hurts. And you get a score. For instance, my score at the beginning of the year was 30. So when they give you when you get a concussion, and what they do to measure if you're ready to play or not, they have you retake the test. So you have your completely sober, concussion-free benchmark that you take at the beginning of the year. And then later, Nico, see you in a bit, bro. Once you have the concussion, they make you retake that test to see where you are. So I had a 30 at the beginning of the year. When I took my first test post-concussion, I got a 6. Just goes to show how bad I was. So, until Victor Wembanyama is symptom-free, and until he passes all of those benchmark tests, he will not be returning to basketball activity. This is also an organization that is very, very conservative when it comes to injuries. In 2006, Tim Duncan had a partial meniscus tear going into the playoffs. This was a team that was looking to repeat after 2005. He hurt his knee going into the playoffs like a week left before the playoffs started. The thought was he'd be able to play through the partial tear. The Spurs, before the playoffs even started, sat Tim Duncan for the entire playoffs. They said, no, we're not even going to mess with this. This is a very conservative organization. We've already seen them be conservative with Wemby. Do I think they're going to force him to sit out the entire playoffs? No, absolutely. I do, though, however, think there's a pretty good shot they don't let him play the rest of this series. Now, the question, of course, is, can the Spurs win without Wemby? I know you're asking it because I was asking it, and now it's time for us to answer it. If you guys are active in the chat, I will be reading those off. If you want to let me know if you think the Spurs can win without Wemby. The answer for this series is absolutely. Victor played most of the season. I know. He was very, very good with this team. This team was centered around him. But I never once thought that this Spurs team couldn't win without Victor Wembanyama because of the team basketball aspect to the San Antonio Spurs game. It'd be against T-Wolves or Nuggets, which can still best Portland in 7. If Wemby doesn't come back for round 2, we're cooked. But in 7 and first round, I think you guys can get it. And that's kind of my notes as well. Victor, the playoffs are just a different animal. I know that. And Portland has stepped up their game. And we've seen a Portland team, guys like Scoot Henderson, guys that are coming out of the woodworks for this Portland team and playing good basketball, especially what we saw last night. We'll get into the finer notes of that game in just a second. But do I think that the Spurs can win without Wemby this series? Absolutely. Absolutely they can beat this Portland team. De'Aaron Fox is still a baller. Vassell and Castle, they've been great, especially on the defensive side as Jimenez gets a hit, top of the 5th. Runner on first, no outs for the Blue Jays. The 2-0 Angels lead. Clingan had a great game before Victor Wembanyama went out. And then Victor Wembanyama goes out and Clingan disappears. Time Lord had a good game in this one. Denny Advia is obviously an all-star. Like I said, Jeremy Grant and Drew Holiday have stepped up when it matters. And they did against the Suns in the play-in tournament. Portland is still a very good team. But I do think that the Spurs have enough firepower and are coached well enough to win this series without Victor. Now, next series, if they're going up against Minnesota or the Nuggets, I'd give them a better shot against Minnesota personally. But ultimately, without Victor, they cannot advance. It all just depends on what version of Victor do we get when he does come back. Vassell looked like me if I got subbed into an NBA game last night. Yeah, he did not look good. Steph Castle also completely disappeared in the game. Vassell had an okay day. JD Walker calling into the show. We'll take calls after the power hour, brother. Unless I run out of things to say. The funny part for me in this game was San Antonio completely choked this game. And I'd be remiss to let us forget that. They had a 14-point lead with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. In the game, they only scored 2 points in the last 3 minutes of the game. With 3:37 left on the clock, they scored their 101st point. They finished the game with 103. Those last 2 points that they scored in the last 3 minutes of the game, those were when Portland was intentionally fouling them when they were up 3. The Spurs choked this game. It should be 2-0. With or without Victor Wembanyama, they should be up 2-0 in this series. But ultimately, they just ran out of gas. Portland kind of just hung around the entire game. They were just kind of there. They honestly played a better game when Wembanyama was on the floor. Not going to lie. It took them a while to adjust their game plan back to we could get into the paint. When Vic was in, they were 3 for 12 from the paint. And then after that, I think they were 13 of 17. But there was a minute there where they were still playing their game plan as if Victor Wembanyama was it. Klingon was struggling. They brought in Time Lord. Time Lord finished the game for them. He played awesome. Scoot Henderson. He had 31 points in this game and has proven why he should have been the number 1 overall pick in 2023 over Victor Wembanyama. It's a Scoot Henderson revenge tour. My favorite part is he was insanely efficient scoring, okay? He's 11 for 17 from the floor, 5 for 9 from 3. But the dude only had 1 rebound and 0 assists. Scoot Henderson was like, give me the rock, I'm going to score it. Anything else, though? Nah, I'm good on that. Scoot Henderson just said, give me the ball, I'm going to score. And boy, oh boy, did he. He was awesome in this game for Portland. Bro should have not been the number 1 pick. I don't know, bro. If Victor Wembanyama's career ends, I don't even want to say that. Time Lord showed up late in this one and got all of the run at the big spot with Klingon struggling down the stretch. Klingon was not very good down the stretch. He was much better when Wemby was in. He struggled with Luke Cornett. Hey, Luke Cornett, bro. I'm not sitting here and saying Luke Cornett is someone who I like. Luke Cornett came in and did his job last night. He came in for the Spurs and was like, let's go. He low-key kind of put the team on his back. Runner on second, 0-2 count, 1 out. Soriano gets a pop-up, shallow center field. No tag from Jimenez. Just kidding, he is tagging. And he's safe at third. I think he was just ready for Victor the whole time. Klingon was. And when he went out, the game plan was he didn't know how to adjust. So I'm excited to see what Thiago Splitter does with this team with 2 days off in between and a full game plan, prepping for them not to have Victor. The unanimous depoy, if you will. Denny was super passive in this game, and he really just got clamped on the perimeter. I thought that's where Vassell stepped up most, was guarding Denny. And if he's going to take time off offensively, but guard really well on defense, you take that 10 times out of 10. Denny is not going to have a game like he did last night another time in this series. I think Denny Advia is the best scorer that we have in this series, pure scorer right now. Give me the ball, I'm going to put it in the hoop type guy. And he's going to go out and get his no matter what. I'm excited to see where this series goes. We will be watching together on Friday. The game of the day for me, though. The Los Angeles Lakers have taken a 2-0 lead on the Houston Rockets. Remember when everyone was saying the Rockets were going to sweep? And when we open up the phone lines and go live on TikTok, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of those Rocket fans hopping into the chat being like, hey, bro, I guess I was wrong. No, they won't admit to that. Of course not. I have a little stat for you guys before we keep going on this show, though. Since 1995, the top 5 organizations in the NBA in playoff victories are the Celtics at 5 with 158, the Heat at 4 with 161 wins, the Lakers are at 3 with 173 wins, the Spurs are at 2 with 184, and LeBron James is on his own at number 1 with 187 victories in the playoffs since 1995. Oh, it's a little bit of a rhetorical trick. Oh, he only has 2 more than the Spurs. The Spurs had an 8-year head start on LeBron, and he still has more playoff victories than any other organization in the league. Since 1995, the sole entity in the NBA with the most playoff victories is not a team. It's not an organization. It's LeBron freaking James. Paprika. That stat rules, dude. O'Neal Cruz went yard again today. He's having an unbelievable start to the season, O'Neal Cruz. The Mets lost again last night. Their losing streak is now at 12. LeBron is 24-0 when his team goes up 2-0 in a series. Chicken wing. Carolers sing. All hail the king. Lakers in 5, brother. LeBron had 28, 8, and 7 in this game, and it was probably the most pressure-filled game of his entire career. What? Bro, he's played in finals before. He's down 3-1. You thought last night was the most pressure LeBron's ever faced? Yes, because before the game, a report dropped of the team meeting they had 2 Saturdays ago when they found out that Luka and Austin Reeves were out. According to reports, something shifted in LeBron that night, and he took back over as the leader of the team. If he went out last night and lost that game to the Houston Rockets after the report came out about him having like a private meeting with the team, boy, oh boy, would he gotten flamed alive by me and everyone in the meeting. Oh, how does that special meeting go for you, LeBron? I didn't mean to do that. He would have been absolutely destroyed by the media, but he is not today. He is hailed as the king. Bro, the Jordan people are slowly just backing into the bush like Homer Simpson was. Where are the Jordan people? Come at me, please. My comments have been so boring recently because none of you are able to actually say without a shadow of a doubt that Jordan is better than LeBron James. It's crazy. Please, find it within your heart to come back at me. I need someone to challenge me. Marcus Smart had 25 points in this game. Most impressively, though, he had 5 steals and a block in this game. Marcus Smart was unbelievable on the defensive side of the ball. Mike Trout is up to bat, bottom of the 5th. 1-2 count. Mike Trout has 7 home runs in the season so far, 934 OPS. He's hitting the ball hard. As a team, the Lakers had 11 steals. As defensively, they had Houston in a vice grip all night, and especially in the third quarter when the Lakers took over this game. The Rockets were 24% from 3 compared to the Lakers being 46% from 3. And it really never felt like that team in Houston ever really had a chance in this one. This is a game, too, the Lakers typically lose. They had 6 points from their bench in this game, and they only put up 101 as a team. 101 doesn't usually get you a win in the NBA. But when you hold the other team down to 93, all bets are off, dog. All bets are off. And now we're 2-0 headed back to Houston. I haven't seen the Lakers defense take over a series, or I haven't seen them take over a game like they did last night all season long. Is it a result of what LeBron is doing? Yeah, sure, of course. But it's also Marcus Smart stepping up. It's Jared Vanderbilt playing good defense. Ultimately, though, for me, it's JJ Reddick, dude. JJ Reddick has been unbelievable coaching for the Los Angeles Lakers. Since he took the job in LA, after the whole situation with Dan Hurley, if you remember that one, the Lakers offered Dan Hurley like a 10-year, $100 million contract or something crazy like that, like $10 million a year. And that whole thing fell through. Thank God. All Lakers fans who were mad at that, oh, we should have gotten Dan Hurley. Dude, we're so stoked now because we have JJ Reddick. Since that whole thing went down, he's had back-to-back 50-win seasons. He's convinced LeBron James, the best player to ever do it, to change his game. He's gotten Luka Doncic to lose 30 pounds, unlocked Austin Reeves. He's put this team in his position to win every single night. And Mike Trout just went yard for the 8th time this season. Woo! 428-foot home run for Sir Mike Trout. Knight him. He's the king of Anaheim. Brother, it's 3-0 right now. Angels are on top of the former American League champion of last season, the Toronto Blue Jays. Oh, Canada. More like oh, Canada. Sorry, I'll stop. I'm sorry. JJ Reddick has convinced LeBron James, the best player of all time, to completely change his game and be the third option for a Lakers team. He got Luka Doncic to lose 30 pounds in the offseason. He turned Austin Reeves into a really, really solid role player to an all-star, and he's put the team in position every single night to be successful. And none was more evident than last night with what he was able to do to lock down Kevin Durant and ultimately lock down the entire Rockets team. The adjustments in this game, the adjustments to the rotation, it was all world-class from JJ Reddick. I just wanted to give JJ his flowers and let him know that everyone here over at TBWZ absolutely loves JJ Reddick. And brother, you are welcome on the show whenever you want. You have an open invitation to join the show. Cut that out of the YouTube video. What part? The Mike Trout part? I don't edit the YouTube videos. Maybe I should. Oh, I almost thought I wasn't recording. Woo! That would have been bad if I wasn't recording. I got to clip the JJ Reddick stuff. The Canabra. Oh, yeah, that was bad. Oh, Canabra. Got to clip that JJ part and give that man his flowers. As much as I want to give JJ Reddick his flowers and the Lakers team and LeBron James and Marcus Smart and all those dudes, I also got to say I'm incredibly disappointed by what I saw from Ime Udoka and from Kevin Durant. It's a team that is so tired of playing basketball with each other. It could not be more evident that this team actually hates each other. Durant had 11 points in the first quarter. He looked poised to have a vintage performance. I thought we were going to get LeBron versus KD. I thought they were both going to go off for 30. I thought they were going to be trading shots back and forth, guarding each other, not being able to stop each other from scoring. I really thought that's the game we were going to get. But ultimately, he had 12 points the remainder of the game. He went 7 for 12 from the field. Incredibly efficient basketball game. But 12 shots is crazy, bro. Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, and Tari Eason all had more shot attempts in this game than Kevin Durant did. That should never happen. Playoff game, regular season game, preseason game. NBA Cup game, Lakers in 5. That should never happen. Kevin Durant's the greatest scorer of all time in a lot of people's eyes. You only had 12 shots in a playoff game. You're already down 1-0. Getting that game would have really helped your team out. And you only put the ball up 12 times. You're the guy over there. You watch what happens when KD gets the ball, the entire Rockets offense just stops. They'll stare at him. And I'm just like, all right. Oh, KD's getting doubled. What should I do? Just stand exactly where I am. And that's on Ime Udoka. They were doubling KD pretty much right off the jump. And the reason I think he had 11 early on is because they were getting through the double very, very, very easily. Because it was a very quick double from Los Angeles. Right when KD got the ball, it's a quick double. They double him right away. And he was able to dish it off and find people, and guys were able to score. In the second half of the game, starting in the second quarter, actually, instead of doing a very quick double team, it was a very slow team to double. So Kevin Durant would get the ball. Slowly that help would come. And so it would give him less time to kind of think about where to go with the ball. And it wasn't necessarily on him. It was the team around him just was not adjusting at all. And Ime Udoka had no answers for what they were throwing at KD and the Rockets offense. We all know. What am I going to say? We all knew KD was going to be able to put up. Also, Kevin Durant had 9 turnovers in this game. It wasn't like he was out for a month and was like trying to get back into basketball shape. No, he played the last game of the regular season. He missed 1 game. He's been out for what? A week? Resting for a week. He's missed 1 game. It's not like he was out of rhythm and like needed to like get back into basketball shape, and that's why he had 9 turnovers. He was just careless with the ball. The reason he only had 12 shot attempts is not because he wasn't shooting and not being aggressive. It's because he was turning it over all the time. The whole game, I was so disappointed in Alperen Sengun. That guy stinks. Jabari Smith Jr. stinks. This Rockets team just sucks in general. So much of this is because of the KDF files, in my opinion. If you remember at the All-Star break, the KD burner stuff dropped. And it became very clear that Kevin Durant kind of hates this team and hates the Rockets. And it's like the Rockets hate each other. It's very funny to watch. They don't like each other. Reed Shepherd is afraid to shoot. He's afraid to play basketball. They're all afraid of messing up in front of Kevin Durant because he's not a good guy to be around, I guess, according to them. He's scary. He says mean things about them. Dude, they're all just soft. KD's an actual man. You guys are all soft. This Rockets organization, this team, it will not be able to recover. They will not be able to recover from a 2-0 deficit. I don't even know what they're going to look like next year, dude. There is such a chemistry issue with this team. It's not a physical play issue. Ime Udoka is not coaching well, I'll give him that. But there's not an issue with the team roster-wise or basketball-wise. The issue with the team is chemistry and care and the locker room. And that's all on Kevin Durant. I don't think having Fred VanVleet in the lineup next year is going to fix these things. He called Jabari Smith Jr. retarded. The other game that we got last night, and I hate to call it the other game because this was a premier playoff basketball game, was Philadelphia and Boston. Philadelphia took it to the Celtics and won 111-97. Can I just say, even in the loss, Mitch Johnson was coaching well. You had a 14-point lead with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You only scored 2 baskets in the last 3 minutes, 37 seconds. He didn't make the right adjustments and when it mattered most. Not to be outdone, the Celtics shot like an NJB. Not to be outdone, what? Oh, terrible transition there. The Celtics lost by 14 last night to Philly in Boston, which was hilarious because I love watching Boston lose. They shot like an NJB team last night. They got their bag completely stolen by VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. Before we just talk crap on the Celtics, which I cannot wait to do, VJ Edgecombe absolutely showed up in this game, dude. He had 30 points, 10 boards, along with a couple of steals. The last rookie to have those numbers in a playoff game was Tim Duncan in 1998. Rarefied air that VJ Edgecombe finds himself in. Holy crap. 1998 was 26 years ago? Long time. 26 years. Dang-o. The Celtics just seemed to be asleep at the wheel the entire game. As a team, they were 13 of 50, which is 26% from three, which if you don't know ball, that absolutely stinks. It was the second most missed shots in Celtics playoff history last night. They missed 37 three-point shots. Most teams are not even taking 37 three-point shots. The Celtics missed 37 three-point shots. This is twofold, right? Someone was asking the other day, like, is this game indicative of like an issue for the Boston Celtics? Do I think deep down that this game means that maybe the Celtics are not 28? Man, I have a headache. 28? That makes sense, I guess. I was born in 96. I'm going to be 30 in 2 months. Right? Yeah, July 18th. Mark your calendars. July 18th, Veenie's birthday. Are we going to be live on my birthday? Can you look that up, Oreo? First pitcher in MLB history to allow one or fewer runs in the first 6 starts of his season, Jose Soriano. What an absolute thug. What a beast. He's the best pitcher in baseball. As Zephyr joins the game on the bump for the Halos, he has a 3-0 lead. He has a 6.1 ERA in 10 innings in 7 games pitched so far this season. He absolutely stinks. He's a fire starter. And Vladdy Guerrero flies out. That's a good start for Zephyr. The one worry I had about the Celtics this entire season and what I saw from the postseason of them the past couple of years is sometimes they just fall in love with a three-point shot, and when it's not falling, their analytics guys, those like nerdy Asian dudes from Harvard that are sitting behind the freak Joe Mazzulla, they're like, hey, analytics say the shot's gonna fall, right? So let's just keep shooting. They fall in love with the three-point shot even when it's not falling. There was no adjustment in this game to be like, all right, hey, the shot's not falling. Can we get something going inside the paint? Keita did not show up. Vooch did not show up in this game. They had no presence inside. Bona and Drummond absolutely destroyed the Celtics in the front court. Obviously, VJ Edgecombe was going off in this game, but you had no help for the Celtics from Derek White, from Peyton Pritchard, from Shireman, from Sam Hauser, from Keita. No one on this team was helping out Tatum and Brown. It was a bad shooting night all around, yes, but those guys still showed up. Tatum had 19, Brown had 36. No other Celtic had double digits. This team just didn't show up, dude. If there was not a star issue, there was an issue with everybody else in green. And an issue with Joe Mazzulla not adjusting the game plan. What up, Zach? Every quarter, the Celtics scored less and less and less. The numbers just went down and down and down and down until a 20-point fourth quarter sealed it for the team. This thing is not over, right? The series is not over. I think Philly has a chance. Ultimately, though, Boston still has this, man. Boston is not going to have a bad shooting like that again in this series. They're not going to miss 37 three-pointers again in this series. I'm not nervous for Boston losing this thing to Philadelphia. I am nervous, though, about the idea of them missing 37 shots in a game and not adjusting the game plan. It felt like they wanted to go in and shoot a bunch of threes and played good defense, which they did. They held Philly to 111. The defense showed up. I like that about the Celtics a lot. That even when the shot's not falling offensively, they're still going to step up on defense. Because you get a lot of teams that like, hey, we're not scoring buckets. They kind of just like slump and they're like, man, we lost, we stink. But not this Celtics team. They still played great defense. Oh, wow. The hitter for the Blue Jays, Sanchez, swung and missed on a curveball that ended up going into the back of the batter's box and hitting him on the foot. So Zephyr just got a strikeout on a hit by pitch. That's awesome. I absolutely love that. Oh, Hoppy's challenging the strike call. That's a great transition for us getting into the OBS discussion that I wanted to have today. And Logan O'Hoppy is correct on that. What do you think the score will be tonight in Game 2 of the Oilers-Ducks series? I have no clue, brother. No idea. That'd be sick if I could just know everything. Speaking of hockey, let's do a live look-in at some of the hockey results from around the league. Because I would be saying this is the second time I've said this. I'd be remiss not to mention the beautiful sport that we do call hockey. And as much as I am locked in on basketball, I'm not able to watch as many of the hockey games. I still would like to keep up with what's going on. So let's do that all together. Everybody now, all together now. In the Western Conference over here on the left side of your screen, Colorado is taking a 2-0 lead over the Kings. This series is going back to Los Angeles for a game tomorrow. The Stars and Wild series is knotted up at 1 apiece. This series is unbelievable. The Wild stole a game on the road in Game 1, heading back to Minnesota. Brother, this thing's going to be an absolute barn burner. We got a game at 6:30 p.m. tonight. That is going to be the game of the night. The Golden Knights and the Mammoth are knotted up at 1 apiece as Utah got their very first win as an organization in the playoffs last night against the Golden Knights. That series is tied up 1-1. Edmonton and Oilers, only one game in. Oilers are up 1-0. My friend Zac from North Dakota asked me to predict the score. I'll predict it right now. 4-3 Anaheim Ducks. Sabres and Bruins is tied at 1 apiece. With this thing going back to Boston now. The Lightning and the Canadiens are tied at 1 apiece. The Hurricane and the Senators. Carolina looks really, really good in this one. They're up 2-0. And Philly also looks good in this one. They are up 2-0 over the Flyers. Don't show the Penguins series. This is good for you. The Penguinos. Penguins are up 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wow. Oops. The Flyers are up 2-0 in this series. I'm sorry, that was an error on me. The Flyers are up 2-0. They won both the games in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looked absolutely sorry in both those games. It's shaping up for a fun round 2. I think we're going to be getting a very, very fun one here. I think it's going to be the Lightning in this one. I do think Avalanche and Stars is going to be the series of the entire thing. And I hope, deep down, the Stars are going to be facing off against the Golden Knights probably in the conference finals. I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip. We'll win both in Philly. Trust. All right. For my bracket, I have the Oilers, Avs in Western Conference Finals and Habs, Hurricanes. Let's see. Habs, Hurricanes. Yeah. I'd be worried about the Lightning a little bit in that one. Avs is a great call, obviously. Avs should make a run at this thing. And the Oilers, I think you're just doing that based off the fact that they got Connor McDavid, bro. They got McJesus on their team. Of course they're going to be balling out. Of course you're going to have them going to the Western Conference Finals. Wherever you shake it, brother, I'm here to bake it. What? What? Just. Sorry about that. Soundboard is going absolutely off. Off the rails. Off the Rizzy. Off the Andrew Rizzy. That's our live look at hockey. Got a few minutes left in the power hour. And I've one more take before we open up the phone lines. Maybe we hop on TikTok a little bit early. We're now officially 30 days into this MLB season. I wanted to just take a deep dive with you guys into what we think about ABS past month, right? We're 1 month into the automatic ball strike system brought to you by T-Mobile. I think, and I want to know what you guys think. I'm trying to frame this correctly. I don't know if I can. It's closed for right now. It'll open up later in the show after the power hour, after my first break. We're now 30 days into the automatic ball strike system brought to you by T-Mobile, and I was wondering what you guys think about the automatic ball strike system so far. I was wondering what you guys think about ABS so far. I personally think it's great, and here are 3 reasons why I think ABS is absolutely awesome. Here are 3 reasons why I think ABS is unbelievable for the game. ABS brought to you by T-Mobile. One more time. Clem, first time chat. What up, Clem? Here are 3 reasons why I think that ABS brought to you by T-Mobile is an unbelievable addition to Major League Baseball. Number 1, accuracy is great. We play this sport at the highest level, down to the point where we're measuring the angle in which a batter's bat flies through a strike zone. We're measuring the amount of times a ball rotates on a pitcher's slider. Baseball's been on the forefront of sports analytics now for the past 20 years, and it's all in the name of better competition. ABS provides accuracy to a part of a game. ABS provides accuracy to a part of the game that we were still leaving up to chance. In many ways, still leaving up to chance. Teams spend weeks coming up with analytical strategies and finding deficiencies in their opponent's game, and maybe a tell from the starting pitcher that they're facing that day. And then, the blue is calling everything outside. Throw it all out the window. You have a game predicated and built on analytics and research and development, all to get to the game, and it's like, hey, the ump's calling it pretty low today. Got to adjust. Ump's calling it low. I like that part of the game because that's who I am. What's going on? What's going on? Sorry, I'm getting the game on. ABS provides accuracy to the strike zone, which in my opinion improves the competition of the game. Number two, the umpires have gotten better. I thought this thing was going to make me really, really hate umpires and call for like a complete overhaul of all human beings in professional sports and be like, no more humans, give me all the robots. But honestly, I've been really impressed with the umpires through the ABS system, brought to you by T-Mobile. When I see a batter tap his helmet, saying like, hey, blue behind me is absolutely blind, that pitch was a total, that pitch you called a strike was actually low. I'm like, let's go. I'm rooting for the umpire every single time. When I see that strike zone light up and it's like 0.2 inches away from being a strike and the umpire got it right, woo! Let's go, blue! I absolutely love watching the umpires win in ABS. When it's my team, it's cool. I'm like, yes, I want my team to win. But other than that, I'm rooting for the umpire. ABS, I thought it was going to make me hate the umpires and be like, get rid of all of them. We don't need them anymore. It's made me appreciate what they do. I've found that the umpires have been incredibly good at calling balls and strikes, except for CJ Buckner, with the ABS system brought to you by T-Mobile. Reason number three, the entertainment value is unmatched. Right after the signal is given, the camera usually locks in on whoever made the challenge, whether it's the catcher or the batter. They lock in on that person. Their eyes immediately dart to the Jumbotron in center field. Every man, woman, and child in the stadium fixates their attention on the big screen in that glorious rectangle that we call the strike zone. The announcer goes quiet. Everything gets tense. And then we see the ball hurling at the strike zone, brought to you by T-Mobile, and it lights up pink. It's a strike! Every time it happens in a game, I'm locked in on it. Every time, I'm glancing over at my TV, getting some work done, yada, 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 the game's on. I see this and go, I'm locked in. Got to see it. When it's just the strike zone sitting there and it's all tense, and here comes the ball. Ah! It's so entertaining, dude. It doesn't slow the game down at all either. It's so quick. Every time it happens in a game I'm watching, I'm so locked in. Dude, I've looked away during no-hitters. I've missed bases clearing doubles. I've gone to the bathroom, and I've missed a reliever working his way out of a bases-loaded jam. But, bro, when I hear the words ABS brought to you by T-Mobile, brother, I am locked in. It is so entertaining. The only negative I have about ABS right now is that there isn't enough of them. Feed me more. It only takes like 10 seconds. It hardly slows the game down at all. And the fans like it a lot. From a viewing perspective at home, I love it. In the stadium, it's so sick when the Jumbotron has the strike zone, ABS, brought to you by T-Mobile. It's so sick and everyone is locked in on it. The fans love it. I think the players like it. It's a great product. The only issue I have with it is why do teams only have two of them? Each team should get one per inning, in my opinion. One per half inning. So you're like, defense gets one, offense gets one. Every half inning. Recycle them. Or the cat's dropping emojis like a madman. Zephyr is back in. Top of the seventh. He does get the first out, fly out to Adele. He's got 12 pitches so far. hoping to go 2. I'm going to get 6 outs in this game. It would be absolutely huge for the Angels, who, of course, are on a 3-game losing streak. It's very, very tough to be an Angels fan right now. Fellas, that's the Power Hour. Thanks for watching the Power Hour. If you liked this, we are live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. We're also live every single night, starting at halftime of the last game of the postseason that day. I'm live every night there's a postseason basketball game. TBWZ will be live. To all the people watching the Power Hour, thank you so much. Love you. I'll see you next time. Peace. I have a headache.